Alright, hey guys, Ham Solo here, Kilo Foxtrot Zero, Echo November Oscar, Mike. So, the day's come. I finally got back from my trip from Michigan. I had several boxes waiting for me once I arrived. And so, let's go ahead and see what we received and what it looks like. Okay, first box that I opened was the box from DX Engineering. And that box contained swag first, and so I'm pretty sure I'll be putting those stickers somewhere. And then I pulled out this box, which is my programming software for my radio, the Kenwood TMV71A. And so this is the software and the cable in order to program. I also received this antenna. This speaker. This is a Kenwood KES5A external speaker. Weighs about 2.5 pounds. It has a mounting bracket in case you're going to put it mobile. I'll probably just set it on my desk, right? And the connectors on the end are from a different radio. And I'm not really sure which radio it was for, but I've seen some videos online where people are basically just cutting those off, and then they're putting on a 3.5 millimeter monaural jack to plug into the TMV71A. Of course, this is all new to me. I don't have a workbench, and so I will be going to the hardware store and getting a soldering station with a, I guess, roll of solder. They talk about using the 6337 split tin lead mixture for rosin core, and so I'll probably be getting that type of solder. I think they're moving away from 6040. It's not as good, and so I'll be getting that solder, the soldering station, and a mat so I don't burn holes through stuff inside my house. And then I'll also purchase from them, same hardware store. They have 3.5 monaural jacks, and I'll get one of those, and that's what I'll be soldering in order to make that speaker work with my radio. The last thing inside of the DX Engineering box was my antenna cable. And so I bought 75 feet of RG8U cable for running to my attic. I live in a homeowners association area, and they have stipulations that if you're going to put external antennas out, you have to submit to the architectural review committee and give them schematics and all this kind of whatever. And so I decided for my first antenna, since I'm only doing VHF, UHF, that I would get an antenna that I would mount in my attic. And so I bought 75 feet of cable. I probably only need 50, but I did plan on incorporating a dirty balun into the run. And so I got 75 feet because I know I'm going to eat up about 20 feet when I make that dirty balun. And so that's the cable. I will have a video on when I install it, as well as while I'm making the dirty balun with the cable. It's pretty big cable, and so hopefully it'll fit on that piece of PVC I bought. I bought a 1 foot piece of 4-inch Schedule 40 PVC, and I will be fastening the cable to that and winding it around 20 feet. And I'm pretty sure it'll fit on the 1 foot, hopefully. So that's the cable. The next box I opened was my actual antenna. This is from Arrow Antenna, and this is their open stub J-pole for 2 meters and 70 centimeters, UHF, VHF. Basically 3 poles of differing sizes. The longest one's about 4.5 feet. And then it has a bracket. That bracket's what all those poles are going to attach to. And then the mounting screw holes, I'll be crawling up in the attic, which I'll also video for you. And I will be bolting this antenna bracket to one of my roof joists. And so then I'll be running that cable with the bowline from that antenna back down here into the shack and going through the wall. Okay, and so I'll make sure that I record that as well for you. The third box I opened, this was an Amazon purchase, and it contained some jumpers, and I got some 90-degree turn 239s that go to straight. I thought I would use that out of the radio and probably hit a lightning protector. I haven't gotten that part yet, but that's what the jumpers are for. I also, in case, got some reducers, and so this is 239 to an SMA connection, I think is what it's called, and I could use that on my Baofeng. As well as I got a dummy load, and so this is a 60-watt dummy load, and what you use dummy load for is you put it on the output of a radio on an SWR meter. That way when you're testing the radio or the antenna or the setup and you're trying to see the SWR or power, you're not broadcasting your test out on the actual airwaves. You're sending it into a dummy load and it's dissipating. And so most people buy these in order to test equipment, and so I got a 60 watt. Both the radios I have, my Baofeng is only 8 watts max, and my Kenwood V71A will be 50 watts. And so this 60 watt load should be more than enough. And then this digital Surecom SWR meter and power meter I purchased in order to do all my testing with. And so it came in its box, and there are some cables and adapters for it. Of course, it's a USB micro to USB regular to go into the wall plug. And then there were a couple of male to female and male to male adapters that were inside the box. And so that was the third box of equipment. The last box of equipment I got was my actual radio. And so I had ordered that through Ham Radio Outlet, and there are multiple of those in the US. And so the closest one that has the equipment you want will be the one that ships it, even though I have one here an hour from me. This one came from New Hampshire, because that's where my radio was. And so it is a Kenwood TM-V71A. There's the manual. I bought an open box model that could have been a demo model or whatever at the store, and they made sure that they bench checked it, and it was about $50 cheaper. And so I got an open box Kenwood. It's in very good shape. And so this is the radio itself. Very sleek. Connection on the side, RJ45 for the microphone, as well as the rear has some computer plugs. One's going to be programming, I'm sure. The other one has something to do with if you're running WiresX or one of those types of ideas to a computer system, you can plug in there for that. The monaural 3.5 jacks are on the bottom, and so that's what my external Kenwood speaker is going to be plugging into once I get that soldered. This is the internal speaker, and it's very small, and so I figured that wouldn't be enough. All right, and so that's why I got that external speaker. Has a heatsink fan, has where you plug in your antenna, then your power adapter with a fuse and a T-handle, and then the face itself, because this can be a mobile install, you can move the face. There are extensions. You can put the face somewhere else in your vehicle. Of course, I'm going to be putting this on a desk, and so I'll have it all connected together, right? Inside the box as well, there was a power extension. Looks like about 6 feet. Some more fusies, another T-handle, and then the ends of it are raw. I do not have my power supply yet. That will not come in until after I do another training trip to Dallas and San Antonio. But by the time I get back from that, a couple weeks from now, it should have arrived, the power supply. And then that way I will crimp the ends of these with some power pole connections. There are power poles on the front of my power supply, and then that way I'll be running that extension with the power poles into my power supply. And then finally for the radio was the microphone, and you can see it's got DTMF keypad on it. Some repeaters and systems need you to input those telephone codes or DTMF tones, and so that's the microphone. RJ45 connector will go on the side of the radio, and there was also a little clip adapter, but I'm probably not going to use that because I'll be having it on my desk, and I'm not going to drill holes in my desk to put a microphone clip adapter. So that was the majority of the boxes that I got in. Almost everything to go. However, I don't have the power supply, so I can get almost everything else set up. I will do the video on making the dirty balun. I will do the video on setting the antenna up, and then I'll do the video of connecting everything up in the attic and running it down, hopefully into the shack through the wall. I haven't got any grounding or bonding equipment yet. I'm not as concerned about it right now since everything is internal to the house, and we're in the middle of late winter for us in Colorado here. And so I will definitely get to it. I just haven't purchased anything for grounding or bonding of the equipment in order to dissipate between all the pieces. And of course I don't have my power supply anyway. So in the meantime, if the power supply comes in and I do get everything working, I'm not as skittish about turning everything on because right now there's no thunderstorms, there's no inadvertent energy coming into the building, and everything is three-prong ground anyway to electrical outlet. So it's not something I'm overlooking, it's just something I haven't got to yet. Okay, and so other than that, I'll probably cut it off for here. The install of the antenna and the balun will be a separate video. I've got about a day and a half to try to do it before I have to leave to go on my training trip. And so I hope you watch. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Hit the little bell icon. Then you'll be alerted when all the videos are posting. And we'll go from there. Right? Appreciate you watching. 73. This is Ham Solo.